two spots that we're going to cover. One of them is one of my favorite bakeries in all of New York City. Eric Kayser's flown in from Paris. He opened up his first on the Upper East Side in 2012. 4 years later, he's got 10 locations in Manhattan and about 120 worldwide. This guy is one of the greatest bakers of his generation. Super clean, everything's levain, bio, organic. Besides being a great baker, it's a great place to come in for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and sweet pastries. Demos with him, make bread with him, see how he makes the magic. My favorite baguette in New York City is from the Maison Kayser locations. Then we're gonna go to a place called Dirty Bird on 14th Street. Great combination. Let's make fried chicken out of great chickens, hormone-free, sourced from Pennsylvania. Super clean bird, super good fried chicken. Add to that a bio wine bar that just opened, curated by Evan Lilly. So, bread and pastry, followed by fried chicken and bio wine. That's today. I'm Mike Colameco, industry insider. Been in the business my whole life, and I know what it takes to succeed. Each week we'll take you into real kitchens, filmed in real time. Backstage passes to a day in the life of chefs, restaurateurs, and their teams. The competition's fierce. Careers, life savings, and reputations hang in the balance. These are my people, and this is their passion. And that's what's next on Mike Colameco's Real Food. Mike Colameco's Real Food is brought to you by the continuous, generous support of the following underwriters.
Extra virgin olive oil from Colavita, an Italian family brand.
Rachel Ray's signature specialty food line, designed for preparing meals at home.
I will show you how we mix, and after you can do your organization.
Eric Kayser, pleasure to meet you. You've made me a very, very happy man many times. You have 6 in New York now?
We have 10 now.
10. I guess maybe you opened 4 in the last week. 10 stores, and you started here in 2012?
2012, in August.
So in 4 short years, 10 stores. Started on the Upper East Side and then all around.
I put a teeny part of yeast and a teeny part of salt, and after all the time we put our levain, I will put 350 grams of water, cold water.
Talk about you. So you're 4th generation?
Yes, I am the 4th generation of baker. And when I was 4 or 5 years, I thinking in my dreams that I want to be a baker and traveling around the world. And it's funny because when I say that to my teacher all the time when I was 8, 10, 12, they thinking I was crazy.
Yeah, I would imagine they did.
Yes.
But you have 100 stores now worldwide.
Little more, yes, perhaps 150. Now I will start to incorporate some air inside the dough. Take my dough, I put the air. For me, it's important to give the opportunity to the people at first to buy and to eat this beautiful bread. But in my dream, I want to teach to young people how they can do a very beautiful job. It's not difficult to do the dough. So the most important is now. We need to keep the dough for a long time. If we don't keep, we never do a good bread. So the easy way is to take your dough, put in a bowl, put a torchon, a tissue on the top, and put in the fridge for 10 hours, 12 hours. We say a baker is a little alchemist. You need to understand the weather and the flour and the levain for sure. But you can do something fantastic and you can realize a beautiful life. After one day, after 12 hours in the fridge, this is the dough. If you touch, it's cold, but it's nice.
Studied with whom? Did you go to school formally? Was there a baking program in France for young bakers?
Yes, I was at school for 2 years. We saved to be a student at a bakery organization. And after I stayed 5 years in, I don't know, I think you know, Compagnon du Tour de France.
Talk about that.
At Compagnon, it means that you go in a very difficult school every 6 months in different city. For example, you start in Paris, and after you go to Marseille, and after you go to Bordeaux, and you have different corporations. You have people, they work with the wood, some working with the stone, and you have the baker. So we go to work in a bakery for the night, and the day we go to learn how we can teach the bakery and how we can learn. And I think the most difficult part of the life is to learn how you can learn and how you can teach. So you take your scissors and you cut.
Oh, that's yeah.
1,
That's the one we had on the
2,
table.
3, 450 degrees. We put the baguette. Oh, perfect. And now what we need is a steam. If we don't put steam, the baguette will bake too quickly. And after you don't have the good volume. Start. Oh! Voila, voila, voila. Epi and baguette. The way that the baker see if the bread is enough baking, we do tuck, 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 tuck,
got
and
that
it
hollow
needs to be
sound.
dry.
Yep.
If it's not dry, it's not enough baking. Tuck, 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 tuck. Similar as wood. When you do a simple baguette, it means that it's difficult. If not, other people will do that. Secondly, the most important for us is to use our, we say sourdough or starter or levain. When you see the history of the bread 3,000 years ago with the Egyptians, they used the natural fermentation because they don't have yeast.
There was no commercial yeast.
So when you take this levain, you can just drinking a little is good for you. It's probiotic. It's good for your stomach. Huh?
So they tell us.
You can just put a little in your
right.
finger
I'm gonna
or
go
with
like this. I'm
a
gonna do a spoon.
spoon,
I wanna try and be soigné.
and drinking a little.
It's more than a little bit.
And you see, it's a fermentation between lactic, acetic, butyric. So you have different fermentation inside. And this is what we put every day in the bread.
It's really complex.
Yeah, very complex.
You designed and invented this machine.
Yeah, in 1993.
That's crazy. And why? What
You know
led-
why? Because I was teacher baker in bakery.
Okay.
And I receive a lot of groups of people to understand how we can work with the natural levain, natural process at this moment. It's a mixer, so we put the flour and the water every day. We mix for 20 minutes. When we mix, we keep the mother, we say, the reserve.
So you brought this in. So the original starter of this came in from Paris with
Yes,
when you opened the first store.
Yes, and now we deliver in every bakery. And we keep the levain for 100 years with this machine.
And so much of the flavor, and we talk about probiotics and fermentation, but
Yeah.
so much of the flavor of
Yeah.
your bread, of your baked goods, that's the
Yes.
source.
My dream at the beginning when I opened my first bakery or after a few bakeries was to come in New York. But I know New York is very incredible city, very nice people, but very tough.
Yeah.
So I think when you come in New York, you need to be ready. And at the beginning, I learned because I don't know exactly what we need to do. And after 5 years, 10 years, when I have opened many bakeries, I understand that the most important is to have the bakery inside the shop. So it means that when you put artisanal bakeries, it means that you need to mix and to bake in the same place.
Chef, what are we making next? Oh, I see this glass of chestnuts.
Yes, you're right. It's a chestnut bread. It's one of my favorite at this season. It's beautiful.
So I should say, in the interest of full disclosure, we're filming this 2 weeks before Christmas.
Yes.
So it's the holiday season. Thanksgiving was a few weeks ago. Christmas is coming up. We start to see these little marron, these little chestnut confit. Marron.
And we have syrup of chestnut too. We take from the bottle. So we take 200 grams of whole wheat flour, 200 grams of white flour. We mix together. It's nice. We put 10 grams of salt. Just a teeny part of yeast. You see, it's 2 grams. 1 gram, 1 gram. Just to help the fermentation. Syrup we can put at the beginning. We have the sourdough all the time, 100 grams.
Goes in everything.
Yes, everywhere. And water, 340 grams. So you see, all the time squeeze. Take the flour, squeeze. You see, I think you can go very quickly to mix your dough. See, it's not far from finish now. Go quickly. You see, my finger squeeze the dough, and in the same time I take the flour, put in the table.
Boom. Bowl's dry. There's no flour left in that.
Yeah, starting to put. I finish to squeeze a little, and when the dough is good, I start to put air inside. Huh? So you see, you need to put noise. If you don't have noise, it means your dough is not good. Huh? So now it's done. I will put my nuts
now.
Everywhere. So, see, I just go in this way and squeeze again the dough. It goes very quickly. Huh? And now I will use my marron. Just little. I try to put everywhere nicely. Huh? And after, the most important when you have that is to keep the dough for a long time Where?
Slow fermenting in the refrigerator.
Yes.
I'm
All
learning.
the time.
I'm learning.
You are a good
Makes me
student.
nervous. I'm not expecting questions.
Better
Every
than me.
question, I'm like, what? I gotta think now? Hold on. You're the one that's thinking. I'm just standing here watching.
Yeah, good.
No, but you're right. Slow fermentation is the key to all of this.
Yes.
That the levain and the slow fermentation. That's the flavor. Oh, the bulk of it.
See the dough. You think it's very soft, but it's not soft. Starting to be strong, the dough. See? Okay.
All right. So now it's 12 hours later. Out of the fridge, then we've taken it out. So the fermentation, we've retarded it.
Yes.
Now it's coming back.
Yes. If you push a little, you see
You're
the
getting
dough
resistance.
go up.
Right.
It means that the dough is ready because it go up slowly. So it means the dough is ready to work. You just put a little flour. You see the marron is here,
Yeah, I do.
and the fermentation is here. So we just take our knife
Portion.
and we put a portion. Tac. It's depending the portions that you like. So when we do the pain marron, we just go in the middle.
That's the fold.
Finish.
Out towards the middle.
Just a little. Huh? You see? Took. Slowly. Keep the marron. Took. If you want to go by two. You want to try one? I will be very happy if you do one in front of me. Yes, it will be nice. With two hands? You work with two hands or with one hand? Oh my God, he's perhaps better than me.
Jesus, I'm nervous.
The ground is
Am I all
warm.
right, boys? I don't know. His looks so smooth. Look at mine. Mine look like something happened to them. All right, let me try. I think two hands is easier, actually. But why do yours look so smooth, and mine not so smooth?
I think it's my job, me.
You've done this once or twice?
I do a lot, million and million perhaps.
All right, I'm
Okay,
going to
if
put
I
these out of
move-
their misery.
Because you know, you just do that, and me, I just push a little. You see, slowly. See,
See, look at the top now.
just little. My finger, I cut the dough, and I do that. You see, round but nice. See, with your finger. Where is your finger?
I'm
This
trying, man. I'm trying this trick he showed me. But it's not quite doing the same thing
Yeah,
yours
it's
did.
much better,
It's
no?
better than it was before. It's better than it was. But that's not saying much.
finger? How long we keep? My boss?
How long do we keep it in the oven?
No, before I go to the oven, we need to proof, no?
One more time.
Yeah, how long?
Room temperature or au frigo?
What you prefer?
I always like refrigeration.
Me too.
I think we go in another 8, 12 hours?
Yes, 12 hours in the fridge or 2 or 3 hours outside.
This guy's killing me with questions. Did you read the call sheet? There was no questions for the host. Host doesn't get to ask questions. Host doesn't. I'm not a baker. I'm an idiot.
Boss, the plate.
I'm a chef. I like chop stuff up and roast it in pans. You know, this is something else. You got a razor blade.
So if you want, you can cut the bread a little, if you want, huh? And you can put a small part of the marron.
right in the center.
Yeah, in the center. So you know, it's similar to a dish. You need to work with, I think, a little art. And after people can buy because they think it's beautiful and nice.
People eat with their eyes. It's true.
Yes, normally yes. I love to eat that with a duck or with chicken, beautiful chicken.
Really?
With this bread is so beautiful.
That's a good idea. I never thought about that.
Okay, go. Allez, allez.
Allez.
The best for the pain marron is to put a little water on the top. We put whole wheat, you need a little more water because it's little dry, the whole wheat. Huh? And after we will go in the oven with a little steam if you have, if you don't have, it's okay. Open the door. Tac, tac,
All right, we set our watch for 26 minutes.
tac. Oh my goodness, it's so... I want to eat this bread now. See, my marron, they are not burned. They are nice, no? Oh, it's very hot. See,
So where are you sourcing your flour from?
in United States.
Yeah, for these bakeries.
We try to source not too far from the area where we are. So not far from New York, we have a beautiful wheat, and we buy from a big company of milling company, organic flour, and everywhere in the world we try to give we
Local.
say agriculture contrôlée, raisonnée, or bio, organic. It's depending what we find, but the most natural flour is the most important for me.
So, it's not just bread that we come to Maison Kayser.
No.
We have these beautiful sweets. Something I don't eat that much of because, unlike you, I got a belly and I can't stand it. So, this is a classic apple tart.
La tarte aux pommes.
Tarte aux pommes.
So normally you take your pastry, you
Holes.
Yes, put holes, and after we do almond cream. So almond cream is sugar, butter, eggs, and
Almond flour.
yes. Okay. You take your apple. So
Granny Smith, green
Granny
apple?
Smith,
Yeah.
yes. You can keep the border and starting to go in this way. So you need to put a lot of apple. If not, your apple tart is not nice. You know, you don't need to spend too much time to do your apple tart. You see, you use all,
Yeah, use the trim for that
Yes,
because no
the
one sees
trim.
it anyway.
and you go back. You can go different way. You know, very important to give the volume. Again, you can cut that. It's okay.
Fill up the
You
middle.
you don't lose apple normally. If you want and be nice, you can put just a little cream here. I love to put the brown sugar just before baking. So
Oh.
not difficult.
No. Yes, let's
Mario.
eat apples. Let's eat apples. All right.
If you bake, you can put in your oven at home at 400, 410 for 15, 20 minutes. It smells so good. See. Again, our tartine in a plate. We're starting with the goat cheese. So you need to put goat cheese everywhere.
And that's also got some chives in it or some Arab fino.
Pinabs and yes, and goat cheese, yes. You like goat cheese?
I love cheese.
Me too. When you finish with your goat cheese, you go with this beautiful part.
Roast squash.
Yes. Brussels sprout. You can put 5, 6. So some dates everywhere. Yeah, and after you can eat something good, something natural and easy to do. You just need to have the good bread. This is the most important. Oh, you
Pumpkin
put
seed.
Pumpkin seed. After you have arugula.
It's a great lunch.
Yes. Phew, it's very natural. You are not heavy when you finish to eat that and it's good. The miel, honey. You go back to the origin of the food in the family. I think it's beautiful.
We're in agreement on that.
Okay.
All right. So besides people coming in for bread and besides the great pastry, I mean, you're open from what time in the morning?
We open at 7 o'clock in the
And
morning.
you close at 10 o'clock at night?
Yes, 11.
11 o'clock at night. So it's crazy. So all day long you're baking, the breads, they're coming out fresh, which is great, great, great. But then, again, when I go into your stores, half the business at least is people sitting in the dining room or getting takeout of these great sandwiches, prepared foods to go. So it's like a little crab,
An avocado.
avocado and crab.
Yes, and cream of avocado on the top.
Smoked
We
salmon.
say smoked sandwich with black bread. We have this beautiful sandwich with
Like a Bayonne ham.
this is a cheese salad and a beautiful ham. And we have the Parisian. It's a,
Which is so classic. Like you
Easy.
bite that corner and it's just crunchy
Yes.
and delicious. A little bit of butter, good ham, good piece of cheese. That's like the perfect set. Salad niçoise, obviously, with anchovies. And I'm eating this. Chef, what are you going to have?
I
Yeah,
think
that's
it will be
something.
good for you. Me, I will eat the sandwich for sure.
Okay.
But I think the most important is to say to people, if you don't have the good ingredient, you can never do a good sandwich. So you need to have a very good bread, the right bread, and put the best ingredient inside. It's the most important. Try your onion soup,
I am,
please.
I am, I
Just,
am.
just after wedding.
Before it gets cold. Just relevant. So tell me about this Dirty Bird, because I remember you came on the radar. You opened in like 06, 08?
Yeah, spring of 2006.
And I remember hearing about this little place, and I thought, what a brilliant idea. So you tell me the idea, because it was yours.
Well, so, I mean, being a New Yorker, we order so much takeout delivery, right? And I just wanted to offer kind of like a healthier step up fried chicken option. Let people know, like, if you're getting the bird, it's from Amish country, Lancaster County, Pennsylvania. I had a couple great chefs on board to help develop the menu, yeah.
So instead of paying like, X a pound, you pay 1.5 or 2 times this, but now you've got a really good bird that's really gonna taste good. There's no antibiotics, no hormones, no nothing. Amish do
Exactly.
great work. And you're handling it that American way. So you do a rotisserie, a brine and a rotisserie.
Yep.
And then the fried chicken, same thing, brined and fried?
Everything, so if the chicken comes in on Monday, we brine it 24 hours overnight, and we sell it the next day. Get deliveries in 6 days a week. We break down all the chickens ourselves. Yep.
So what we have here is this great pressure fryer that was actually invented by Colonel Sanders. Yeah, the guy was an engineer. And just like a pressure cooker, he's got hot fat. Put that lid down, and you're accelerating the frying process because the steam can't escape. Holy snark flat.
Before he started Dirty Bird, Joe used to sell my family wine.
You told me that. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
he worked for a small importer called Sumavides. They sold Italian wine, so he had Roagna, all types of great stuff.
Like
so
early
that was-
bio-organic stuff.
Yeah,
Right, which is
before
nuts.
it was a thing.
Like in the late 90s, early aughts, when like nobody knew what to call this stuff, it was like, don't worry about
Small producer wine.
it. Just drink it, yeah.
Yeah. So we already had a connection, but really, I really sort of reconnected with Joe about 2 years ago because he opened a Dirty Bird on Chambers across
the
from
street.
the wine store. And then what happened, how this all happened, was on Friday nights basically, I closed the wine store and Joe closed Dirty Bird on Chambers. So he'd close up, he'd bring over all this chicken, and we'd have all this wine open.
After hours party.
Yeah, we'd have all the wine open from the tastings we do on
Correct.
Fridays. So we'd be drinking the wine, eating the chicken, and then just going, why the F doesn't this exist? Like, this needs to happen.
We're gonna do mac and cheese.
Who
Can't
doesn't
have,
love mac and cheese?
Yeah, you can't have fried chicken
I
without
know.
mac and cheese.
And it's December, and like this is like a winter go-to staple for me, like on a weekly basis.
So good.
And I see you started the way I love to see it.
Started the-
bechamel sauce,
yeah, absolutely.
Classic mother sauce.
So we're gonna get this back up to temp a little bit.
Yeah.
So what I like to do, I like to start with the cheddar and the jack, and some pecorino.
Bingo.
Yep. So it's starting to melt. Let's get our pasta.
So as always with mac and cheese, you pre-cook the pasta until it's completely done. We're not talking about al dente here. We're talking about mac and cheese.
I actually like to do it
Slightly
about
under?
slightly under because
Okay.
it is gonna cook a little bit more in the
Okay.
sauce. This is nice and cheesy. I'm gonna finish it with some pecorino. This is gooey.
It looks like mac and cheese, girl. I mean,
Yeah,
that's what it's
right?
supposed to be. Getting stringy and gooey and delicious. Hot damn. Who's not gonna love that?
Right.
Creamy, cheesy, gooey, satisfying, filling.
That's a mac.
So, let's go. We got food, we need wine.
Let's get dirty.
What are we starting with? Tell me about this bad boy.
This is a pet nat.
It
This
is a pet
from,
nat.
There's no sulfur added. This is literally just
It's alive.
grapes in a bottle.
It's alive.
It's alive. This is Albarino and Marsan.
Which is crazy. So we're in
Yeah.
the Southern Rhone in Galicia, Spain.
Yeah, Galicia,
Two
Spain,
totally
and
different
Southern
styles
Rhone.
of wine, usually.
They had picked the Albarino and planning on making a white wine with it, but they picked one batch like a week early, realized it had this fantastic acidity.
That would be a hallmark of
and-
Albarino.
Yeah. But then it was so dry that they realized they had to add something.
To
and they
round
had
it
some
out, to
Marsan.
give it some body
Round
and
it
weight.
out with some Marsan.
Which-
So this is, as you can see, it's completely
Yeah, unfined,
Yeah.
unfiltered,
Hey,
nat pet.
santé, as they say.
Santé, as they say, a dirty bird.
Get dirty.
Where'd you get the idea behind this?
It's a fun thing to do instead of just like having regular sautéed vegetables.
Right. So these string beans are blanched, and now we're just dropping them in the fryer. Like
Yeah.
I've seen it's done in Chinatown a lot.
Throw this in. Let those get nice and crispy. Then straight into a bowl.
Yeah, you can see that little white color. Their skin's all blistered up.
Yeah, it's nice and blistered. It'll take to the flavor really well. And we'll put a little bit of this chili jam in there. It's Fresno chilies. You do a quick pickle on them, then blend it up, and you can put it on anything.
A little mixing.
A little toss up, and they're ready to go.
People ask me this question all the time, and I don't want to answer it because I have you here.
Right.
How would you describe just the experience of opening a bottle of natural wine versus the sort of older, the more traditional factory wines where it's SO2, it's commercial yeasts, it's we don't know what they've taken in, what they've put out.
Enzymes.
Right. I mean, they literally take wine apart and rebuild it
It's
after the crush.
It
It's
can be a
scary.
product. Yeah,
Yes.
it can. It's funny, yeah, like you say, I grew up drinking these wines, so I didn't really know. I never had this experience of going from a wine that was super industrial, like, extracted and sugar added for high alcohol, and then having this natural wine experience and going, whoa, what's this?
Right.
I hear about those experiences all the time from
Yeah,
people who
my
say,
life.
yeah, they had a glass, they did, they were here, they were in Paris, wherever, and they had a sip, and then their life changed. Like, what is this? You drink these wines that are the mass-produced, industrial, really with tons of these additives and all types of shortcuts.
Which they don't have to label. There's
No,
nothing.
no.
All you have to
Nobody
put on
really
is
knows. I think
sulfites.
people think
That
it's
is it.
grapes in a bottle.
And it
It's
isn't.
not. And then you have this experience with a natural wine, and wine with very little, maybe no additives whatsoever, that's been farmed organically or biodynamically, whether or not it's certified. But
Healthy
the
soil,
good
healthy
stuff.
vines, healthy grapes,
soil,
natural
healthy
yeast,
vines.
no
You got
SOT
it.
on reception.
And they all say, wow, this is different because it's uplifting. It makes you feel good. It makes your body respond in a positive way. A lot of that has to do with the acidity, but there can even be a heavy full-bodied red that's made in a natural way, and your body responds. It doesn't you don't feel slowed down. You don't feel. So I feel like, in a very basic sense, people don't know what to call it. Not everybody's has been trained in wine to know what they're talking about, but they all have this feeling of like heavier, slower, groggier, and then the contrast of this like
Lighter and nimble
like,
and more alive.
Yeah, your
and-
body's like happy, and you don't wake up with a headache the next day, unless you drink a lot, which no matter how natural it is. you
Yes,
can get-
right. Too much alcohol, not enough water, you have a
Regardless.
problem. That's it.
Yeah.
It's another.
Just drink some water in between. Have some Dirty Bird. You know?
Don't have a heart attack.
Where else? We're on 14th Street, and the place that started as a takeout joint. It's the size of like a walk-in closet. That expanded to a restaurant, and now you've got this really full-on, crazy, natural wine list that just works beautifully.
Often people come for the wine, and they say, "Oh yeah, I'll have some food," and then they have the food, and they're like, "This is good."
Well, salute, guys. Thank you. Let's just eat, drink, and be merry off camera. Thank you to Dirty Bird, to Maison Kayser, to great natural breads and great natural wines.
Or are we gonna do?
We're gonna do that off camera. We'll do that. It's delicious.
Yeah, that's enough stuff.
Enough stuff is right.
All right.
Guys, we're up. Let's eat. Let's eat.
Mike Colameco's Real Food is brought to you by the continuous, generous support of the following underwriters.
Extra virgin olive oil from Colavita, an Italian family brand.
Rachel Ray's signature specialty food line, designed for preparing meals at home.